Chaos and unrest has continued in West Bengal almost 4 weeks after the brutal rape and murder of the trainee doctor at the RG Car rape and murder case. The rape and murder of the 31-year-old girl inside the seminar hall has sparked nationwide protests and has also been a site for political slugfests with party throwing muck at each other. Today, the BJP Mahila Morcha, which included the Locket Chatterjee and Mitra Paul, marched on the streets of Kolkata demanding justice for the rape victim as well as slamming the Mamata Banerjee government for its role in the case. Let's discuss this matter in detail. I'm not going to get politicians, I'm not going to get TMC spokesperson and BJP spokesperson and all these leaders, because we understand all too well what they are going to do on the telecast. They are going to sling mud at each other, they are going to attack and counter-attack each other, and there is not going to be any sane voices that will be heard. They all will be drowned. And therefore, today I have with me doctors and students, medical students from across the country who want to speak their mind, who want to tell the government what is it that they desire, their demands, their appeal to our agencies. Let's start our conversation. I have with me Dr. Anishta Mishra. She's the resident doctor, Maulana Azad Medical College in New Delhi. Dr. Anishta Mishra, thank you very much for joining me on the telecast. And first up, how do you react to political parties who have taken over the students, the doctors' protests? Is it benefiting the cause of the doctors when they demand justice for this girl who has been raped and murdered? Does this also then pressurize agencies both on the state level and at the central level, of course the judiciary as well, to take matters seriously?
Good evening all. Thank you for the invitation on this show. Like you asked that how the political upliftment has taken over the justice for which we were standing for the victim at Medinipur Medical College, and this is not the right way I see it, because we are not against anyone, any political party or anyone. She was a woman, she was a doctor, and she lost her life on duty. Nothing can be more hurtful and can matter more than this, whether it be any of the parties, whether it be any government. Even it would have been any other political party in power in West Bengal, we would have asked the same question to them also. It's not just about any particular party.
Okay.
So definitely, I don't think that this is going to benefit the cause for which we are standing.
Okay. Dr. Kanika Roy, who's consultant dermatologist, is also on the telecast with me. Dr. Roy, again, the same question to you. Why do you think there is so much political mudslinging that is happening in this matter? Is it because of the fact that this horrific incident has taken place in West Bengal, which does not have a BJP government? Is it because there are political elements who are reportedly attached to the criminal, the accused who is currently in CBI custody, and therefore there are attempts that are being made to hide and to destroy the evidence and to help themselves get away from this heinous crime and the punishment that would be accorded to them if they are revealed?
Hello ma'am. So I think this is totally the legal person's field. I cannot comment on that. There are a lot of things going on in the social media and also the news channels. However, my main concern to come on the show is just to represent the women, as Anshita is also representing in the doctor fraternity, and we feel that irrespective of the political parties or other issues, we should, as doctors, have a safe environment to work. We should not be afraid of somebody who's walking in, who's coming to us in emergency, and that should not fog our mind to decide the best for them. What you asked, I think somebody else can answer that better, but from my side, I feel that protection for the doctors, because this girl, she was doing her best. She was 36 hours duty. We all have done that, even longer actually. And still we managed to juggle with our daily life and professional life. So security for such people should be offered in better ways.
Okay. Is it just overall about the generic welfare and safety and security of doctors across the country. Are you also at this point of time, you know, angry and frustrated and outraged over the crime that had been committed against this girl? She was murdered and then raped, and in that sequence, there are protests and outrage that is taking place across the country. But again, the question: how do you view this entire outrage of the doctors that has now been taken up as an agenda by political parties? Once again, your perception, somebody who's watching television screens, who's going to Twitter feeds of these political leaders, going on the streets and having in Kolkata, you have your BJP marches and you have the Mamata Banerjee rallies happening. What perception do you have of all this that is happening around you?
I feel everybody is definitely supporting us. They do understand the horrific incident that has happened to a girl, then to a doctor, on her duty in a prestigious medical college. Everybody understands that. They are supporting the cause. They are also supporting their own personal agendas. They must be. For me, I still have hope in the judicial system that things would be addressed and dealt with in future. However, we are also voicing our issues as women, as doctors, and I feel it can be handled more swiftly and in a better way.
Okay, Dr. Rao, you know, there has been a demand that has been put forth by the TMC government, the state government in West Bengal, that capital punishment should become part of the legislation, which is going to be the severest of the severe punishment that will be accorded to a person, to a criminal who's convicted in a rape case. Do you think that is going to resolve the matter?
As a lay person, I doubt. However, our judicial system can discuss that and they deal with it in a better way.
Okay, and when you talk about the safety and general well-being and security of doctors across our country in all the hospitals and medical colleges, what is the current state of affairs? I'm not talking about just the RG Hospital and College, Medical College in Kolkata. I'm talking about the state of affairs in all the colleges, all the medical colleges and hospitals in our country. Are they up to mark? What is it that is required to ensure the doctor's safety?
Definitely, there have to be stricter laws for protecting doctors who are on duty, especially in the emergency units as well as the critical care units. There, in the past few years, decades, there has been a lot of misinformation and trend of society has become negative towards us. We are only there to save you and care for you. That's the first thing we have in mind. So people sometimes don't understand that, and the mindset, I think that has to be changed in people, which will happen over time. But laws to currently protect those people who are in the front line, they should be there, so that we can serve you people, in general the population better. And, definitely, violence against doctors has increased in the last few years. You must have seen. There was, I think, Nagpur's case where a doctor was stashed. Where that was a different personal issue. But so many incidents have happened in a lot of states. I will not name any. But during COVID, a lot of states had faced these, doctors had faced the violence. And then in these 2-3 years, we all have become a little worried for ourselves, for our families. So that's something which is going towards a very bad side. As a doctor, I don't want to be scared of my patient. So definitely, I need to feel safe. So any doctor needs to feel safe. So I think the rule should be there should be some proper law to protect at least all the doctors in general.
Okay. All right. Stay on with me, Dr. Kanika Roy. Let me get another panelist also on the telecast with me. I have Dr. Vibhu Anand. He is the National Joint Secretary of FEMA. Thank you so much, Dr. Anand, for joining me. And again, carrying forward the conversation that I was having with Dr. Roy and the questions that I was asking. Yes, there need to be laws and stringent laws to ensure the safety and security of doctors. And there have been a number of guidelines and rules that have been proposed by the Union Health Ministry as well in ensuring that there is adequate security that is available at the hospital at all hours. Night patrolling by police officials that needs to be made mandatory in all hospitals and medical colleges. Safety and security of women. So when they are traveling from one place to another, or if they are doing night shifts, particularly, there has to be a security guard, and a security guard that has been vetted by the police, that should be given with the responsibility of safeguarding and escorting the women when they are traveling to or fro from their home to the hospital and vice versa, or to their hostels. Do you think these small guidelines, measures, if taken seriously, will help doctors to feel secure?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to state that since we doctors in COVID times, we have all seen that how the doctors and the healthcare workers dedicated their life to save the people. Now, the time has come when we need justice, we need Central Health Protection Act. So everyone should come under one roof and should implement this law as soon as possible. And as you have already said, that these safety measures has to be implemented in each and every hospital on a very strict basis. But the thing is that when the things happen, it gets highlighted in media, it gets highlighted by the political parties, it gets highlighted to an extent. But when the things get passed away, when the time gets passed away, the things get in a silent mode. And these things which have been strictly happening every time, these things are not taken into consideration and they are ignored. Once the things happen, again we talk about everything, that laws have to be implemented, the hospital should install CCTV cameras, police patrolling should be there, everything we discuss. And for 1 week, 1 month, these things happen and suddenly everything goes in a silent mode. But once the things again happen, again we start talking about these things. So rather than, we should not wait for this thing to happen again and again, we should enact these laws as early as possible so that these things doesn't repeat, and we should not wait for another doctor or another female or any other person to get their life lost. So we have to act this time, and we have to be under single roof to implement this law as Central Health Protection Act for each and every health worker. And we also want the justice in the Arjikar Medical College.
Okay, but Dr. Vibhu Anand, again, you're talking about, like I said, safety and security of doctors, and yes, there have been innumerable instances where patients and their family members have attacked the doctors for I don't know, for a surgery that may have gone wrong. And I'm not going to say, sometimes there are doctors who are at fault, because there have been a lot of cases of negligence and appalling negligence that have been found. Doctors leaving their scissors or other medical equipment in a patient's body, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go down there. But the issue over here is in two directions, two-pronged is what I'm going to say. One is about the violence against women, this brutal murder and then rape that has happened, and the second part of the discussion being that this has happened in a medical institution, and not in any medical institution. It has happened in a government medical school, and which in theory should have everything in place. Like you said, the CCTV cameras, night patrolling, ensuring that the women's safety is paramount, especially because the doctors are working 36, like you said, 36, 48 hours, and they are women doctors and they're doing night shifts as well. So that becomes the most important duty of the principal, of the dean, to then ensure that the women in their hospitals, in the medical colleges are safe, and they don't have to fight the sexual predators such So there's this poor girl who had to face through that entire brutal murder and rape. So what is it that the doctors today are coming out and protesting? Are you combining all your problems with regards to the laws that you require for your safety when you are attacked or abused by patients because of the fact that they are disgruntled? Or are you at this point of time fighting for this woman, for women who are preyed upon by individuals, by criminals such as the accused who is right now languishing in CBI custody?
First of all, we are fighting for the lady, for the female who was raped and murdered brutally. We are fighting for her justice, and along with that, we are fighting for the implementation of Central Health Protection Act. So first of all, she is a female, and we have to protect our females to make our nation a better and a good nation. But since she was attacked or brutally raped and murdered during her duty in a medical institution, so we also need a Central Health Protection Act. Regarding this, we are protesting, and we are protesting for the justice as well as the act to be implemented.
Okay, Dr. Akash Vidolia, he's from the RML, he's the media spokesperson of RML. Thank you very much for joining me on the telecast. And again the question, do you think when the doctors come out and speak about the laws that you require, when they talk about the health protection laws to be implemented, to be becoming part of the legislation, does it not then take away from this heinous crime that has happened against this girl? Yes, doctor security is paramount, but on top of it, this is a crime against a woman. This is a crime of subjugating a woman. This is a crime of hate. This is somebody who's clearly twisted in his mind to have committed such a crime.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me a chance to channelize it to all the thoughts that the doctors are having. As you asked this, if we are demanding for a CPA, will it distract? It will dilate. It will divert the location of our justice to the girl. First of all, I want to say this, that this strike is start for the justice for a girl, our co-colleague, our co-PG who were murdered and raped in a Kolkata in Arjikar hospital. And secondly, to prevent such future incidents, we need a strict action, strict law from our government that all of us should feel safe during our duty hours in a hospital. Because for a resident doctor, a hospital is not less than a home. Because residency is a place where most of people live. Doctors live in a hospital more than their home during their residency, particularly during this PG tenure. So if you are not feeling safe in your home, how would you able to work efficiently? How would you able to do the life-saving procedures on a patient? If you are afraid of patient and their relative only, how would you able to think clearly and take a decision which are critical in saving the life of the individuals? So this is both are very important topic at present, because if we can't, if any injustice happen to anyone, despite of she is a doctor, despite of she is a female, this is thus not a violence against a doctor, it's also a happening against the females as well. So if people from a general population come and support us, we cannot deny their support. Because this is just not for doctors only, this is also for a female protection in our society. We are living in a society where 50% representation of female, and if they are not feel safe in their home only, in their workplace only, how would you think that there will be a proper equal opportunity for both of them? As our Honorable Prime Minister also stated in this speech from Delhi in this Independence Day, that media should also cover the punishment what is given to the patients, or what is given to these people who are doing these things. Because initially,
what according to you should the Supreme Court do? Now the case is going to be presented in the High Court, and then of course it is going to go and be in front of the Chief Justice bench very soon.
Ma'am, I have a full faith in our judiciary. I believe some loopholes are everywhere, but still I have a faith in a Supreme Court and our judiciary that all people who are involving in this conspiracy in this case, they all will get the punishment definitely. But it's a request from our side, from all the doctor community, that even after giving the justice to this case, also take steps for making the working environment safe for females as well as other doctors. Because if to prevent such future cases, it is very important to implement the Central Protection Act, because this is not just against the female violence, rape. Even there, the male doctors are not safe in hospital. I am in RML. In last 20 days, we have 4 to 5 cases where there is a violence against doctors even happening when we are having strike, when we are having a media coverage, when all of the, just not the national media, international media is covering this thing, this case,
Okay.
this topic.
Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.